His music has often been described as an electrifying blend of Eastern and Western influences, with each and every note representing a delicate brushstroke, fusing color, light and shadows to create intricate patterns and poetic images.
With 9 internationally released albums and a DVD of his performance in Quebec, Canada, Ron Korb is presently to promote his music, and we have him here with us in our studio this morning.
Very good morning to you, Ron. You've just finished your tour in China and Taiwan, I hear, and you're here in Singapore for the first time.
For the first time in Singapore, yeah.
How was your trip in China?
It was fantastic. You know, we played in Beijing at the Century Theater, and we also played at the Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hall in Guangzhou for like over 3,000 people.
How was it received?
Very, very well. Yeah, in fact, they had to get the security guards to hold the people from jumping on the stage, so it was really a lot of fun.
Do you find that playing in a different environment sort of changes the kind of music you play or the way you play?
Well, in some ways it does, and in fact in China we actually played some traditional Chinese pieces like Jasmine, and also we played Green Light from Stephanie Sun here in Singapore. So you know, so we had to play some local repertoire as well.
Okay, so you brought in a whole range of flutes we see. They're all different, though, and to me they all look the same. Maybe you want to go through with us the different flutes that we have.
Well, this is a flute known as the penny whistle. It's from Ireland.
You can hear that sort of Irish
that kind of
Celtic sound.
This is a flute from Cambodia.
These are flutes, but we still hear a little bit of a difference in the sounds that it make. What causes those?
Well, each flute has a sort of a different texture because of its design, etc. And like, for instance, this is the Chinese flute, the dizi, and this is similar to the Korean flute, actually. We were talking about that. It has this little resonator here, and that's what creates that buzzing sort of sound. And so it creates that buzzing sound that's very characteristic of Chinese music. So each flute has a different design, and it gives it a different sound and a different, you know.
What's the most unique? I mean, maybe on the range here, could you tell us, is there one that sounds quite not like a flute? I don't know.
Yeah, well, this flute here is from Norway, and it has a kind of an interesting, it doesn't have any keys.
Oh, okay.
And so it's quite unique.
So with different flutes, I guess.
Fruits, yeah.
Different flutes, you give it a different treatment to produce a different mood of melody.
Yes, exactly. Like, I mean, with a flute like this is, you can get more of a Japanese sort of shakuhachi sound, like.
When did this fascination of yours with flutes and woodwind instruments begin?
It began when I was a child, and I just heard the sound of the flute, and it just really captivated me. And I always have kept that sound in my ear, and that's really what inspires me to play.
Sorry, I was going to say, so where do you get your inspiration for the music that you sort of write now?
Well, I get a lot of the inspiration just actually from traveling around, and you know, you see different things, you hear different instruments, it gives you inspiration, and also just, of course, your whole life experience, you know.
I also understand you have written songs for major artists here in Asia, one of them of which was sung by Alan Tum, and that reached double platinum status, and also another song won the award for Best Original Competition. You also played on dozens of major motion picture soundtracks. How are all of them different?
Well, I mean, writing a song, of course, is one type of skill. Writing music for a movie, of course, is a different thing, where you're sort of enhancing what's already there.
How restrictive is it, or maybe not restrictive? Maybe it's even more flexible than other instruments, other musical instruments, when you want to compose something and you need a whole range of, you know, sounds.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, because I have so many different flutes, I can start with one sound, and then if I want to change to like a different character, I can use another flute. So it gives me a lot of flexibility.
Okay. Well, it looks like you've got your set of flutes all set to go, and you will be performing in Singapore, I believe.
Yes, we'll be doing some showcasing here. And I'm also playing in Taiwan next week at the Kaohsiung Festival, And I played at Expo in Japan, which was fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, well,
and
best of luck for your performance. I understand.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, Rob, for coming in.
thank you very much.
And that is Primetime Morning for this Friday.